Right guys, enough of all that sped up nonsense for a bit. I'll give you a little update. As you can see, the supercharger's coming on really well. Literally just some wire wheels on the end of my drill. I was thinking I was going to strip it and then paint it. However, if I keep buffing it up with these, I think it'll look quite a nice finish just left as it is like that. So I'll finish off getting the rest of it off. I'm almost there, probably 90% of the way there. Then I'll put some polish on it, give it some protection. So for now, just while I thought I had a spare few minutes, I started putting the bolts back on it. I don't think these three are right. I have a feeling they're not, but that'll do for the moment. Just slowly piecing things back on. So I thought I'd give this a go and put the supercharger bracket that was made on. So just having a quick look. It looks to me as if it goes like that. Looks a bit close, but so usually, oh, caught the GoPro in the cam belt. Usually the air conditioning unit would go here, and then it would have its own pulley which would run off the belt here. So as you can imagine, when the supercharger is facing that way and it's sticking out, it'll be supported and held on by this. So these are the bolts that originally were used. So let's just get this on here and see if it works and see what it looks like. In fact, that's looking quite good. Just give you an update on this actually while we're here. So I'm so close. I've leaving the inlet side with 80 grit finish, not 240, because it can't be mirror finish. But hopefully you can see in there, it's all looking really smooth, really nice. I've started on the chambers. This one's done the majority. These still need going over. And the exhaust side, you can see, we're all looking pretty good. Just some little refinement to go. I need a bit of a polish, but yeah, really happy with that. I'm glad to see the back of this, to be honest. It's been a pain in the ass, but yeah, as you can see, if you look, hopefully you can see it for the camera all good enough. These two are looking good. This one needs more refinement, and this one still needs porting out still. As you can see, there's still a lip on there which I've taken off on all the others. So yeah, that's that. I bought some Fast Roads. No, I didn't. I sent off some my standard cams to be reprofiled. However, what I didn't realise is when you reprofile, you have to change the shims. So I spoke to Lee. I think I may have mentioned this as well. I spoke to Lee, and I ended up paying. He gave me 15% discount. So shout out to Piper and Lee. He gave me a brand new set of cams. So he also posted my standard ones back to me, which I can look to sell. So it ended up costing me about 500 in the end for the cams, which is quite a lot, but hopefully see about 10 brake horsepower on a standard engine with those. So with the supercharged, hopefully that I may see an even further increase. And with the port and the polishing, the cams and the supercharger, as I've said a number of times, 230 would be a fantastic target to achieve. So we'll see how we'll get on with that. And that washer's not suitable now, really. Do I wish I'd kept better organisation of the washers? Yes. In short, it's been a bit of a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. Or not just the washers, sorry, the bolts. I don't know what switch 3 hold this on. I did finally figure out these ones are all correct. But yeah, it has been a bit of a pain, in all honesty. But anyway, let's get this all bolted on, see what it looks like. Pretty excited to see the finish, to be honest. I don't think they would have been 8.8. I think they would have more likely to have been these M ones. I might be wrong. Again, here's the problem, but there you go. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. Nice big washers on these. That looks silly. And that one might. And I'm hoping that who designed this, obviously got the measurements right. I have a feeling this wasn't Warren. I think he bought the previous owner. I think he bought off somebody else. So we'll see how we go with it. It's all gone all right. Just say at this point as well, Chris Allison is quite well known in the Formula Racing, Puma, for rebuilding engine, calipers and stuff. And I've been watching his videos on rebuilding the engine and how to service and working on the head, which have been a fantastic help. So I don't know if you watch these videos, Chris, but I appreciate those videos you put back in 2017 and some more recent ones. They've really made this job a lot easier for me, so thank you for that. Let's get this final bolt in. Chris, by the way, does have a YouTube channel rather than just random videos. I don't know, I'll share the link here actually, so you can take a look for yourself. But as I said, really useful, so I recommend seeing his videos, or possibly asking him any questions if you have any, because he does seem that he's worked on many of the Pumas over the years, and I'm sure he'd be happy to help you. Oh, all the others, or pretty much all the others, had an M on them, and I'd like to keep it consistent and use another M. However, I don't seem to have one. Perhaps we'll just stick with that one for now. 13. In fact, no, that is right. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I am really excited to get this car up and running. It's a long way to go, I know, but I watch a lot of YouTubers and their videos, and you can see the buzz when they finally get their car up and running and they take it out for the first drive. And watching them get that buzz off taking it on the first drive is driving me, to be quite honest, because I'll probably say I've been missing doing the build once it's all done, but hey, let's not get ahead of ourselves. That's not gripping for some reason, I don't know why. There we are, that is the supercharger bracket. So what I need to do is get this finished. What I will show you before I carry on doing this is this. Can you remember how it goes on? This is the question. What's he doing? It's this way around, obviously. So the reason you have to put the oil cooler on is because obviously you can't get to the air filter once this is on. Good Lord. Heavy as hell. There you go. What am I doing? So, even though I am cleaning this up, surely there must be another bracket that supports at this end. I can't imagine. I mean, that is a close fit. Look how close that is, isn't it? So there you go, that should be lining up with that. Looks pretty bang on. Obviously we won't know until we get it on properly. So realistically, all that cleaning I've been doing of this, the main areas are going to be around here, because this is the areas you're more likely to see. And then on the end here, you will have this goes in between here. What I will do is make sure this is all tidied and neat as possible. That's the wrong way around for a start. Yeah. Duck side. Okay. A cork gasket somewhere. It's the plate that goes on the side there. Let's have a look. Well, where has that gone? Is it blindingly obvious and I'm missing it? Excuse me. What have I got in there? Oh, G filter, that'll go in on at some point. There's the belt. This belt's already been measured, that'll go around it. It's gotta be in here, surely. Where the hell is that then? There you are, right. And that goes on there. Yes, look at that. Right, so today's mission, I'm just having a look at this. I'm going to have to take some advice. If these should point down really, and then put the cables, the oil feed lines down through the bottom, down to the cooler, or does it matter if there's probably enough? Yeah, it wouldn't be any problem with the pressure pushing the oil up through the cooler this way, maybe over the top. Something to look at, something to check, but that'll be easy to change. So let's finish. What shall I do? This is so close, but let's finish cleaning this and let's get that bolted on, because that looks sick. So this will obviously then go down into the intercooler. On the other side of the intercooler will be the breather. think it's taken me over 30 hours, but I think I've done it. I don't know how well you can see. Let me get my torch. Now, you could go further than I have, but I'm really happy with the level I've taken it to. There's a mark in there. As you can see, the exhaust sides nice and shiny, opened up to the gasket. I've polished the tops of these a little bit, not as much as you can go, but enough, and it's considerably better than it was. And the inlet side, same, I've opened it up. Now I haven't taken this edge off here, which is what a lot of people have seen on photos that I've checked online. But what I have done is taken the opening off here and made sure that this is all open as per the inlet manifold. But again, opened them all up, put a knife edge on it, made them as smooth as transition as smooth as possible down to the bottom. And I have to say, I am extremely happy with it, and I'm glad that it's over. I'm going to take it inside to give it a rinse, and then I'm going to start having a look at cleaning up the valves. Some of them have got a little bit of build up on there, as you can see. I'm hoping brake cleaner will shift that, so I'll give these a good clean up with some brake clean, rinse this out, and then hopefully I can start reassembling it. I also, you may have seen, use some brake clean to get rid of the build up in here. I think when you don't do oil changes very often, you see a lot of build up in here. So I don't think this was the worst engine in the world in terms of not having to serve, oiled regularly. I don't think it's the worst, but it's cleaned up pretty well. I need to clean out all of the insides here because there's going to be little bits of metal filings in there. So I'm going to compressed air compressor would be good to blow it all out. But I think I'm just going to have to use basically the shower head to rinse it all off and get all the bits out, and then give it a thoroughly good drying and make sure all the bits are off it. And then I might potentially start looking to reassemble it in the house. I think I've got the majority of the bits I need. I just need to make sure all of these I'll take out and clean as well. But yeah, I have to say I'm glad that's over. Once the engine's back in, these are really tight to get in, the water plugs I mentioned earlier, so I'm not going to do that now. I'll do that once it's back in the engine. The supercharger, as I showed you earlier, sits, let me get this right, sits like that. Yeah, so it sits like that. So I still need to clean this off. I'll put some more Nitromorse on here, but this is the area I really need to clean up. It was the last bit I did, annoyingly. So, and all these little sections, because you're going to see that. So that is really close. I'll take these bolts up and clean behind there, and then clean up the bolts, put them back in. But as you can see, a Christmas present for someone, it's beginning to take shape. A little bit annoyed I didn't know what the bolts are for this, so I'll read the spec sheet on that. All the piston walls seems good. Check these bolts on here, I'm pretty certain that's not right, but we'll see. So yeah, I just got to decide what to do now, really. Glad to be back out. These are the new cams that I mentioned, so those will be able to go back in. I'm half tempted to clean up the clean the head, clean these up, make sure they're in good order, and then look at putting the head back on into the position onto the block. I'd really like to lightly, other than using the blade, there's not a lot else you can do there unless you take the head to get skimmed, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to make sure it's perfectly fine before I put it back on. The bottom of here I've made sure is clean. I was tempted to try and potentially go and get that skimmed as well, but as far as I was aware, the head didn't blow or anything. It was a working engine, so there's no reason why this head gasket didn't blow or anything. So I'm hopeful this is alright. I'll get some wanting the know-how on that, just to make sure that I'm doing the right thing, not getting that done. But for now, let's take it inside and give it a clean and waffling. Well, it's been about probably 11 hours this weekend. Take these off. And I'm really happy with what I managed to achieve. I've just put the rest of the cylinder head on and the cam cover. More importantly, now I haven't quite finished cleaning this up, but I wanted to put it on and see what it looked like all fitted up. So I need to get all this remaining paint off. So push that start bit back in there. So there she is, looking good, really coming together now. I did a little check on the belt to see how it was looking, and you might not be able to tell on camera. As you can see, the supercharger pulley is lining up with the main pulley on the engine there, or it looks to be anyway. It doesn't look like it's running at an angle. I mean, if it is running at an angle, we'll soon find out, because it's bound to jump off, and if that is the case, it'll probably be a case of moving the whole thing over on this plate, which would be a pain, but fingers crossed it's as good as possible. I've ordered 4 new bolts for there, heads ported and polished. Yeah, really happy with what I've managed to do this weekend. It's looking great. So yeah, this video is going to be spread over about 4 weeks. So I started stripping the head down, and that's going to be at the start of this video. So it's going to jump around a lot, and it's not going to be very good. But I had a bit of time off. But it's just good to be back, and I'm glad to get the head done. I've still got quite a lot of stuff to do. But yeah, for now that's it. I'm just glad it's coming together. It's giving me a real. Once this engine's complete, and for now I figured out a way how to clean the supercharger. Is that touching there? No, it's just resting on, that's fine. Clean the supercharger. I know it's going to be a bit of a ball ache, but I can do the same in the gearbox and get that on. I don't know if I mentioned it as well. Might have in this video, because as I said, it's been all over the place. There's the uprated clutch and the backlight and flywheel. So that's great. So what the goal will be is to get this fully dialed up, get it all ready, timed up and everything. even have the gearbox, flywheel and clutch all on, and then this can just stay in the corner all mounted ready to go out the way, and drop the engine stand down to find a bit of space. The front and rear assembly are pretty much there, and then it's a case of the car. So what my intention is to do, I tried to get a quote on getting the whole car acid dipped and completely stripped back, but I'm still doing a bit of research on what the best approach is. But with the stands that I got for it, I'm thinking, because the garage is a bit of a mess, I was going to do the work outside, but with it being so crap at the moment, if I can get the car into here, move all of this out the way and put it onto one side, and get the car in and tilt it up onto one side, I can then, it should fit along this wall with plenty of room in the middle. I can then start stripping it and see where we're at with it. I have been thinking about possibly changing the shell and taking the cage out and then getting it re-welded into a better shell, because that one's gone through a lot of work. So that's another option, but it's all something to think about. But for now, I am really happy with that, and I think you'll agree it's looking great. Thanks to the new subscribers that I've picked up over in the last month. I hope you like the content, and don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all again next weekend.